I have noticed that most of the guests are mostly white males of 22 episodes.
Yeah,
that
let's get into that.
No, but you
take a look over here, Peter. What do you see? A lot of whiteys. What's going on here? Oh, this really pisses me off. But go ahead. Really pisses me off.
Well, that's okay.
Go ahead.
But you made a comment on the Tina Fey episode that I thought was interesting that I'd like to get your thoughts on a little bit more. You said, you were talking to her and you said something about the female comedians. It's a struggle for them to balance their feminine projections with their comedic goals.
Yes.
And in the context of comedy, not gender diverse, I just want to know what you meant by that.
Well, I was kind of curious what it's like to be a woman in comedy as opposed to a man. There's a little bit of a difference, and I thought that might be an interesting thing to discuss from her perspective. She's so successful at it, and I was just wondering how she looked at it, if she even thought about it. And she kind of gave me the answer, which is, yeah, you do have to think about that, but, you know, it's just another thing to think about.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Now
but there were a lot of things about comedians and cars in the beginning. The first 10 I did, I think, were all white males. And people were writing all about that, which
that's part of the reason why I asked. People had tweeted at me when I said I'm interviewing with Jerry Seinfeld. I said, okay, ask him about their gender diversity on the show.
Yeah, I mean, people think it's the census or something. I mean, this has got to represent the actual pie chart of America. Who cares? It's just funny. You know, funny is the world that I live in. You're funny, I'm interested. You're not funny, I'm not interested. Okay. And I have no interest in gender or race or anything like that, but everyone else is kind of with their little calculating, is this the exact right mix? You know, I think that's, to me, it's anti-comedy. It's anti-comedy. It's more about, you know, PC nonsense than are you making us laugh or not?
Right, right.
I was watching this Bruce Jenner story, and 2 days before he did the Diane Sawyer interview, Conan did a joke, and it's funny. And then he did the Diane Sawyer interview, and if Conan would have done the joke 2 days later, he would have been labeled a bigot. Does the climate worry you now? I've talked to Chris Rock and Larry the Cable Guy. They don't even want to do college campuses anymore.
I hear that all the time. I don't play colleges, but I hear a lot of people tell me don't go near colleges. They're so PC. Here, I'll give you an example. My daughter's 14. My wife says to her, well, you know, in the next couple of years, I think maybe you're going to want to hang around the city more on the weekends so you can see boys. You know, my daughter says, she says, that's sexist.
Isn't that, you know, it's amazing.
That, they just want to use these words. That's racist. That's sexist. That's prejudice. They don't even know what they're talking about.
Does it hurt comedy?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Artie Lang said this the other day. He said, I got nothing against Bruce Jenner, but can't I have 5 or 6 seconds to kind of figure out how to contextualize it? I do need a little time. I can't see him on the cover of a magazine and then immediately be, okay, I'm going to embrace this. He goes, don't I get 5 seconds anymore to kind of go, all right, let me get my... Louis C.K. went on Saturday Night Live. It was controversial. You've stayed away from controversy, but Louis does a lot of theater stuff. I wonder if it worries Louis.
No. Louis' great gift is he doesn't worry. He just does his thing. If I wanted to say something, I would say it. You got to go. You know, everybody has their hot zone. You know, you got your heat map, and that's the jokes you do. For me, it's the subject. I talk about the subjects I talk about because for some reason I can make them funny. The ones I can make funny, you don't hear.
Comedy is, I do think, is supposed to push towards the lines of the medium. There are more people now who will let you know if they think you went over the line than ever before.
Don't I know it?
I mean, you have to feel the same way about comedy.
Yeah, but they keep moving the lines in for no reason.
Right.
I do this joke about the way people need to justify their cell phone. I need to have it with me because people are so important.
Right.
You know, I said, well, they don't seem very important the way you scroll through them like a gay French king. You know, just... Well...
That's very offensive to the gay French king.
Well, I did this line recently in front of an audience, and comedy's where you can kind of feel like an opinion. And they thought, what do you mean gay? What are you talking about gay? What are you saying gay? What are you doing? What do you mean? You know. And I thought, are you kidding me? I mean, we can't even... I could imagine a time, and this is a serious thing, I can imagine a time when people say, well, that's offensive to suggest that a gay person moves their hands in a flourishing motion, and you now need to apologize. I mean, there's a creepy PC thing out there that really bothers me.
But you can also screw up.
Yes,
you can also screw up. And, you know, it happens once in a blue moon, and you hear about it on Twitter halfway, you know, just as soon as the magazine has hit the internet. And sometimes we put the cover out early, and the covers court controversy even more than the cartoons do.
Yes.
And we hear about it right away.
It's interesting how that ripple can sort of start. And then do you have a sense, when a controversy starts, do you then look back at the work and go, wait, did we make a mistake, or is this...
Sure, yeah. I mean, if you have half a brain, you give it a second thought.
When was that? Tell us about that.
Well, I had to be on television all the time.
What?
So you did go on TV and defend this.
But I had to go on CNN to explain this, and it's never a good moment, A, when you're on television explaining a joke, and B, when the guy on CNN is asking you, well, that could have been on the cover of a Nazi magazine. You know, thanks a lot.
I know,
my mother is watching this show.
Explain and defend is not apologize. Did you?
No, I didn't apologize.
Okay, have you ever done that?
Apologize?
Yeah.
No.
So then you've never felt that you've gone over the line, pushed it, but
I'm saying, but we have these conversations in the office all the time. We do get, you know, Barry Blitt, who did this cartoon and does a lot of our political... He's fantastic. Yeah. But a lot of his sketches go over the line in a way that you know, it's important for him to go too far to see where the line is, if such a line exists. You know, should there be a line? I don't know. But sometimes there's a misfire. I got a misfire today. I won't describe it, but it was, you know...
What does that mean, you got a misfire today?
It was a sketch. It was a sketch about a possible cover about the Vanity Fair cover recently.
Oh, okay, there you go.
But it didn't work.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work...
I would like to know what it was.
You're not going to get it.
Now you, as long as we're on this subject, which I think is very relevant, you said the other day, I saw a thing, I think it was on Instagram, you're not going to make any jokes about Caitlyn Jenner.
I said that day I wasn't. You know, I don't...
Oh, that day.
No, but again, I don't want to... Again, now Caitlyn Jenner is a person who will continue to do things in the public eye, and she will be as open to jokes as everybody else. But as far as that cover in that moment, I sort of thought that was a wonderful moment, and that wasn't a time to make a joke. So.
Oh, okay.
But I don't want to think Caitlyn Jenner can't go around doing whatever she wants the rest of her life and thinking she's not going to show up in a monologue.
Okay,
let's make
good.
Very clear about that.
All right, good. I feel better now.
Yeah, there's no carte. Nobody gets carte blanche on late night.